this is not just Blaster Master, this is Blaster Master Boy. For the Game Boy, specifically. Period 1-1. Now, far as I could tell, this is like mostly just the walking segments of Blaster Master instead of the tank segments. Which I thought was kind of interesting. So I went, you know what, sure, I'll put that in the pile. Now, if people want to stop me making it to the goal, though, they do need to add another game soon. Because if no more games are added, I'm pretty much guaranteed to succeed here with the amount of time we have left. If on the timer. Remember, all it is just $10 to change fate. Ah, there we go, I do have bombs. I wondered, because it's like, I can't get to that guy. I mean, we have the exploding enemies, so I could have tried to use them, but... Episode. Oh, you know, all of that's breakable, probably. Sure is. Shield, which is neat. Like, I know nothing about this game. You can even partially break rocks, which is fascinating. Looks like we got extended range a little bit there. We have infinite bombs, so I should just be bombing the shit out of the terrain, is what I'm gathering from this. Just, you know, don't blow myself up. He says he promptly blows himself up. On the bright side, regular shots don't seem to be super dangerous to us. Though those shoes may have been like armor or something as well. Or these life preservers may be protecting us somewhat. Worm. I was the first to say that I don't know what half these power-ups are doing. Okay, E is full health. Or at the very least, E is energy. Lightning Bolt is just nuke screen. Okay. Down with that as a concept. So far, this seems pretty chill. Okay, there's stairs, so I'm assuming that's where I need to go. So we may as well just boogie. Oh! We have items. Okay. I assumed it was just like an array of power-ups, which it technically is, but they're actually like used in a menu. So these life preservers are probably going to be used like in a water area, for example. That's actually really neat. Shield. Yeah, the way I look at it, the worst case, I will just finish this on Thursday. Much like I had talked about with Konami Crazy Racers. Oh wow, with the shield we could just run into enemies and they die. Isn't that neat? I feel like I've walked around the whole area down here though, and all I've seen is the stairs back up. And a bunch of enemies and items. So I think this cave was just for items. One way or the other, I can't see where I'm going anymore, so we're leaving either way. Yeah, and the staircase disappeared, so I think those are actually just extra then. So that's neat. Just a way to get like a bunch of extra items. Which are probably going to be necessary. Knowing how Sunsoft can be. Now the question becomes then, where am I supposed to be going? I would have to assume there's somewhere further to the right then that I was meant to go to. And I just stopped and turned around to start blowing up rocks because I was going ooh shiny. Now there's a key, that's probably important. Needed to get away from that worm before it knocked me back into my own bomb. Oh, there's an exit. There we go. The key's probably to open the exits then. Oh, just a boss already? Okay. And bombs do work on bosses, okay. Well, let's just bomb the hell out of him then. This, I'm assuming him closing his eye is him taking damage, so I could just sit here and just mash bombs into him. Yeah, because when I shoot him, he blinks his eye too, with the X. So I think this is just a better idea than trying to shoot him, is just bombing the hell out of him. Yeah, he's just dead. Neat. Key collected. Exit found. Way. When in doubt, blow things up. Period 2-1. Just treat this like a Bomberman game. Yep, that is exactly what we do, is we use the life preservers to walk on the water. Not exactly what I expected. I should not have done it that way around. I was impatient and I paid for my sins. So far, I'm kind of surprised I've never heard of this game before. Because this seems fun. Like, I have to assume there's a reason. I just don't know what the reason is. It may just be because it's on the Game Boy. So people just didn't end up having it / playing it. Enough for people to know it exists. I'll be honest, I just happened to notice it when I was scrolling through How Long to Beat. That's the only reason I even knew this was a thing. Oh god, there's a slime on my head. Ow. Okay, it doesn't hurt you, it just makes you really slow. Which is probably meant to, like, catch you out when you are near another enemy or make you blow yourself up or something. Considering it's near all these walls of stone, it kind of makes sense because it is definitely to bait you into blowing up. Like I just did. Except I don't need an enemy to make me blow myself up. I can blow myself up just fine. My own impatience is my own worst enemy. Joke's on them. I have endless energy. As long as I can find it. Which, boy, do I wish I could say that on a regular basis. Like, if I was back in the position where my only limitation was time instead of energy again, man, the things I could get done. But no, instead I am hampered by my unfortunate biology at this point. Period 2-2. Home to lots of water, it seems. And that which dwells within the water. So far, they're really nice about providing the power-ups you need. I feel like that's more them just teaching you what power-ups you need, and then when we get into later stages, they're going to just expect me to know what I'm doing. Which, you know, once they teach you, expecting you to know makes sense. Now, do I have enough lamps to properly take advantage of these caves? That's the better question. Why did I set off those bombs? That doesn't make any sense. That's not breakable wall, that's just wall. At least that differentiates the caves, though. 'Cause I was really starting to wonder if this was like just another identical cave. The ads are about to kick in though, so we are going to take a small pause break while the ads run here in just a moment. At least while the game's paused, the music keeps playing on like Cool Spot. We have like 25 arrows and 15 up. I have to assume that's like making our bombs stronger, but it doesn't seem like it actually changed. We've got 4 Ps, no Fs, 3 shoes. I don't know what any of this means yet. A smarter man would look up what all this means while the ad's running. But I'm gonna get up and do a thing right quick, and if I have time in the ads still by the time I come back, then I'll do that. Un momento, y'all. Okay, back to business here in a second as soon as the ads finish running. Take a moment to remember the buttons. There we go. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. You didn't miss anything because I walked away. Get something else to drink. So, you know, life goes on. Did not have time when I got back to work out what the items mean, so we'll just play that by ear. Okay, so if I go in the water without the life preserver, I just take eventual damage. It doesn't even seem like it's immediate damage in any particular means, so not super concerned about that. So far, this just seems like just a silly little spin-off game. Because there's nothing super complex going on. We had a textless little intro, which may or may not have meant anything. And I say that not as a negative thing before anybody's like, wow, he just hates this. Like, no. Just acknowledging what it was. Oh, hey, I happened to walk through a hole in the wall while I couldn't see where I was going. Doesn't look like there's much down here, though. A handful of items. Did I remember to... Yes, I did. Okay. I wanted to make sure I remembered to add the name to the screen so people know what I'm playing. Ghost, please. Thank you. Now the question becomes, where am I meant to be? Because I have to assume there's an exit point somewhere, because there's been an exit point for every stage. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume it's probably to the right. Welcome, Inazumi of the Beach Foxes, hope you're doing well. That looks like our armor changed? Oh? What is that mission? You know what? Fair enough. Okay, there's... Oh, the exit's just right next to where the key is. Okay, that works. I hope you're doing well. Looks like we have our boss stage here now. Yep, Snake. Where are you? There you are. Face me, coward. You know what? That's fair. Honestly, most of us probably would say it before you did. But I can respect that mission. But at least now I know how you ended up here, which is always good information to have. Should probably start actually trying to dodge these bullets. That might be a good idea. Especially now that it's doing double shots. It's getting so small, and yet somehow shooting more. I don't have any healing items, because I don't think this game has any. So this might be our first death. Especially since I lost track of where he went. There he is. Yep, there it is. Oh, we explode too. That's upsetting. That's good progress so far. Got quite a few left to get to, but that's still progress. Okay. Still got the whole Aki squad, the Winters, and many, many more to get to from the sound of things. Not to mention so many. It really does keep boggling my mind just how many of us there are. Wait. Okay, I didn't lose all my items, I just seem to have lost some of my power-ups. Realized that the fancy armor was gone. And my shots weren't going as far, so I'm like, wait a minute. What are the actual limitations here? I also think the boss kept its damage because it stayed smaller, but I can't really tell. That might be a move. Is planting bombs ahead of him. But it doesn't seem like it's resoundingly effective to bomb him. It's fun, but I don't think it's effective. Okay, I can shoot him off screen because I heard him take damage. So keeping my distance might be effective. I heard an explosion noise, so I wasn't sure what was happening for a second there. I don't know if I'm doing better or worse than last time, if I'm honest. I can't tell. Based on the fact that he's not doing his double fireballs, I think we didn't do as much damage this time. Or he's dead, never mind. What do I know? And away we go. So that's area 2 done. I'm assuming these are the new breakable blocks? Yep, okay. And then we got whatever this thing is. Just gonna get that out of here. We don't need that. Let's see. It's very good that those guys get stun locked when I shoot them, otherwise that would have been a big problem. I did not have much room. Though I did just now notice that I got healed by stage changing, so that's good news. Being healed between stages is a kindness not every game gives you. This guy's just dancing, but I don't trust it. He walks towards you with intent. I don't know if he's like walking up trying to initiate a dance-off or if he's gonna murder me. Possibly both. Murder me with the power of interpretive dance. Don't ask how that would work, I don't know either. Yep, see, he does harm me though. Evil! There we go. Multiplying evil. What? Where did these come from? Why are these here now? Is it because I cleared more space? Weird. What a weird situation we have here. Unless maybe... Oh, maybe the worms, like, transform into the big guys if we don't kill them quickly. No, it seems like more enemies are spawning as I clear more space, so... I don't know. It's just a whole dance party here. Dream, thank you for the raid. What were we up to today? Glad to see you were able to get back to streaming after being able to sleep. But hopefully you're doing well. And of course, as always, if you need to raid and run, please make sure to do so. Taking care of yourself should always be your first priority. Sounds good, sounds good. Playdate, everything went well as usual. We're just sleepily playing some Blaster Master Boy, trying to figure out what I'm even doing here. As part of the Clearathon. For those who do not know what the Clearathon is, basically I'm trying to beat that 5 games you see listed there. Obviously not the actual games themselves listed there, just I need to beat 5 of any games at all. Or that timer in the bottom right runs out. Oh yeah, it's been a good time so far. We finished Cool Spot earlier, and now we're just playing this. I am a little tired today. Like, I just had one of those random energy drops today, so we'll see how long today's session ends up going for, but it's at least still managing to be fun. So we take what we can get, you know? I do seem to be getting a second win just fine here, so we may or may not end up going long enough to beat this today. We'll see. Something I did want to check, though. Yeah, that did work a little bit. Okay. Sounds good, sounds good. Thank you again. I'll still be here. Blasting away. Really feels more like a Bomberman game than a Blaster Master game sometimes here, but you know what? It's fine. Both are fun. These power-ups that are hidden in these blocks do seem to be very important to us. I'd like to get the fancy armor we had back. Lost it by dying to the worm. You can decide which way you want to spell it, considering it had like a dragon head, but it didn't really have a lot going on, so I'm like, is it a dragon? Is it just a worm? Is it a worm? Take your pick. Any of the above could be true. Ow. I've been shot. Go away, Windows. For anybody worrying, don't worry, that was on my side, not anybody else's. Everything is fine. It's just my Windows being annoying. Now, I know this game's rated at being anywhere between an hour and a half to apparently like 5 hours for completionists, so there's a whole world in which this does take us longer than I think it will. Seeing as I don't know exactly what the end goal is, for example. There could end up being a massive time extension there. Because I end up like sidetracking off into something optional here for some reason. It being a Game Boy game, though, I don't even know how much optional stuff they could fit into it, really. The fact that it could end up being so much longer makes me wonder if it's like a multiple playthrough thing. Which would make sense. Like, kind of a playthrough it on hard to do insert thing here. Ignoring the fact that there wasn't a hard mode button or anything. But it could be like a second loop or anything of the sort. Back in the caves. For those coming in later on, these caves have mostly just been for power-ups so far. I'm wondering if we're gonna have a situation where one of these caves is gonna be necessary. Which is why I keep checking them. Considering we've been carrying a decent amount of power-ups. So the amount of healing we're finding down here is kind of helpful. Because these little bullets are actually healing, and then E canisters are also full heals. We figured that much out so far. Is, you know, the results of those are obvious. Life preservers let you walk across water. Lamps do exactly what you saw them do already. Our only means of fighting are my gun and my bombs, which I don't even know why it says bomb infinite on the screen, considering we've yet to have a condition where bombs aren't infinite. So it's a little weird there. I don't really know what the meaning behind that is. Like, I guess that's just a prompting so a new player knows, like, hey, you can use as many bombs as you want. You don't have, like, a finite amount. Which is actually kind of nice. We do have one finite amount involved with our bombs, and that is we can only place 4 of them at a time. Still don't know what that symbol means. I again assumed it was blast radius, but it isn't because the blast radius didn't get bigger. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And I can't push them, so it's not like pushing speed or like kick distance or something. And I shoot them and they just are an object to collide with for my bullets, so that's not a thing either. Just lightning bolt all that away. It seems that the longer we dally about and the larger I make the area, the more enemies spawn, which is interesting. Especially considering a lot of the stage design seems to actually be made for you to have to tunnel through with explosions. Oh, there's the exit right there, in fact. Actually thought I was gonna blow myself up there. Good news, so did I. Woo! I do feel like they're taking more hits, so I think when we died, we downgraded our gun, too. Which usually in Blaster Master, you would take a hit and your gun would downgrade because you'd have multiple gun upgrades to pick up when you're doing the walking sections. This doesn't seem to have quite that going on, so it's interesting. I wonder if this is just like a situation where it just happens to have the name, and it's not really got too much in common with it. Because that would be another reason why it wouldn't be that well known. Yep, here's where I'm gonna be able to show off the water mechanics again. Look at me go, let me just run in on water because I have a life preserver under my feet. That's how those work, right? Nyum. Today I learned, if you put a life preserver under your feet, you become Jesus. I do appreciate that these caves have different music, at least. Even though they seem to be mostly irrelevant. This one might be something, though, considering it's just a whole string of hallways. Considering we've seen exploding enemies in these hallways, I'm just gonna keep shooting ahead of me. Honestly, though, if these are just the same, I may as well just walk in the dark until I can't move, and then I just go around, you know? You can tell when the screen stops scrolling, so there's not really a lot of reason to burn lots of lanterns. Turn it on here, though, because I figured I was getting closer to something. It's a long place, though. There we go. Got to the end of it. Okay, now we just walk back, I guess. Because they explode a row ahead of us? Oh my god. I stand corrected. I was gonna say, because they explode a full row ahead of us, I don't have much to worry about, and then lo and behold, a whole cluster of them were on that corner, apparently. So that was a whole... Oh! I see the bit you're doing here, game. It's punishment for walking in the dark. If you don't turn lights on, these guys just spawn on top of you and blow up, I think. So that one spawned in my face even with the light on, so, you know, maybe I don't entirely know still, but that seems like a likely case of being true. So that was something. We learned a thing here today. We learned that this game can be a bit cheeky at times. Well, let's see what's down this hole, then. We don't have a lot of lanterns, so I can't get too curious. Oh, hey, we finally got shoes. So I'm assuming those are, like, those fancy sandals. That's kind of what they look like. Full heal. Looks like there wasn't that much down here. Just like a fancy pair of shoes. Which I don't know what they're gonna do yet. I'm not gonna waste the only one I have figuring that out right now. The exit's probably gonna be up there because the key's in the middle of the maze. Well, I call it a maze. I don't know if it really is a maze when it's just a spiral around, but you know, you get the point. And yep, the exit's at the end of the hallway up there. Kind of figured. Make you have to walk past more explodey boys. Of course, a vitally important question for this game is going to be, do I have continues? Looks like each section's getting longer, too, because period... Oh. We do have continue. We continue where we left off. We keep what we had, too, so that's actually completely fine. But today I learned, you don't just take damage in the water, you just sink after a second or two. I thought the beeping it was doing was me taking damage, not that we were, like, going to immediately sink into the abyss. The hell of a thing. Wanted to take a bigger drink there, so I was taking a moment to actually do so. Because since, you know, we were having a little bit of an energy issue, I grabbed a bit of chocolate milk, but you don't want to let that sit for too long. Don't want to get warm since it is very warm here. It can be nice to give the old blood sugar a nudge when you're feeling a little bleh. Oh god. I'm getting out of this cave. We don't have enough lanterns to last any real amount of time down here, and it is full of slowdown slimes. It is designed to make you end up having a problem in the dark. We're gonna miss out on whatever was in there, and that one might very well have had something actually significant in it because of the fact that that was so nasty. But like I said, we just couldn't really do anything with that. With a whole 2 lanterns, I should have just never popped my head down there at that moment. What? I found a secret. I guess. Heal? Found a secret area with some gems. Not much of anything of note in it. Just a full heal and some flotation devices. But it's neat that that exists. So I think I ended up blasting that open. I think this was a continuous wall up until I was bombing that other spot. Huh. Well, shit, if I had known those existed, I would have been looking for them sooner. Did that so I could have some solid ground to stand on before our flotation device wore off. So I don't know if those do wear off, and I'm not inclined to find out. Last thing I need is to sink into the swamp. Oh, that's what the Fs were. We ended up picking this thing up before but we had picked it up from like so close that I didn't have a chance to notice. Nope, just gonna keep on trucking. Doesn't matter. You can't stop me. A little bit of bullet damage compared to drowning. I'll take the bullet damage. Still don't know what the shoes mean either. We have a bunch of them. Got a bunch of P's, a bunch of shoes, and one F. But we know what the F does, and we don't know what the rest of it does. Very weird situation to find yourself in, really, if you think about it that way. As far as I can tell, the suit mostly just makes us go faster, but I think we also take less damage. But I'm happy enough just to be going faster. Also just, you know, looks better. I do still wonder about the relation between this and the other Blaster Master games, though. Are we Jason? Are we Roddy? Who are we? Things I'm talking about that most people probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Blaster Master lore's a little bit weird. Much like many other long-running series that they didn't entirely think about the consequences of the things they've done with it. It gets a bit confusing. It's like in the Blaster Master Zero games, I believe you're Jason. In the originals, you're Jason, and then in Blaster Master Blasting again, you're his son Roddy. Oh god. Oh, that's just an instant kill, huh? Okay. Was not expecting instant kill Om Nom Nom. I expected to just, like, get eaten and then spat out. And take damage, not just you die. Thankfully, we can stun lock him, so it's fair adjacent. Though it's kind of funny to be fighting something like this because part of the whole thing with the original Blaster Master, at least the English version, is that you're chasing your frog down into the underground. Or something along them lines. I don't actually remember. I just remember there being, like, a weird screen with a frog, and then suddenly you're in the underground. And it being a whole thing. Oh, we might have him stun locked. Not completely, though. Seems like the key is shooting him, like, in the foot, so you can stun lock him for as long as possible at one time. And the closer you are, the more likely you are to get that full stun loop where they stay stuck completely. How much health do you goddamn have? Like, I realize I'm not in cool armor anymore, but could you do me the solid and die? All of that, and I got screwed because he shot down instead of up. I pressed up before firing for anybody that's like, well, you walked down. Of course you were going to shoot down. This might be one of the parts that's going to take us the longest, because this seems kind of net. Oh! Feed you bomb, yes. You eat bomb now. Enjoy. I thought about doing that. I thought I was like supposed to like feed them bombs while we were inside. Turns out no, you just feed it bomb. Oh god, it just goes for seconds real fast though. I guess we just do this then. Just run back and forth in front of him and keep feeding him bombs. I pressed the bomb button. This thing is like unreasonably tanky. Not gonna lie, don't know how I feel about the bomb strategy now. I feel like the shoot it strategy is safer, but it takes so many hits. Like, I see the idea. It's meant to trap you in with the bullets so that it can grab you with the tongue. Like, its combat strategy is fairly self-explanatory and fairly obvious. It just slings that tongue out so damn fast sometimes that it's really hard to avoid. Telling me you didn't grab that bomb? Come on now. This is not exactly an exciting strategy, but I think this might be exactly how I'm gonna have to do this to get this fight to end sometime today. Is just inch down, keep firing, and then when I go to loop around, I place a bomb behind me. Like, I don't know if anybody's keeping count, but man, has this thing had to have taken a lot of hits by now. 'Cause I'm certainly not counting, but boy, is my arm getting tired from rapid firing into this thing like this. Finally. Good lord. Like, that's a neat idea for a boss fight, but it's also kind of rude. If it wasn't an instant kill, like it was like half your health or something when it grabbed you, I think that'd be a lot more reasonable. Because at least then it's not like instant punishment. I know I only have 2 lanterns, but I'm gonna check down here. Okay, I picked up a lantern. Another lantern. Okay, this cave really was not anything too remarkable. It also seems like items might be appearing when I walk around. Let's walk a loop around in here for a second. No, I just didn't see that part when I walked through before. Okay. Important information. I don't have the lamps for that. We'll see if we find any lanterns. Who's in among the rocks? If we do, great. If we don't, well, bleh. So far, it's not looking good. You know, in hindsight, I should have run predictions as to how many games I would get to each day. That would have been a fun prediction to do, but I would have to have done it fairly early to not break the flow of what we're doing. Oh well. Things to do in future things, perhaps. I'm betting each of these corners is gonna have a hole to go down into in it. We are finding a lot more lanterns, though, so we can make that work. Oh no, this one had a full power. Full suit. But whatever you want to call this. I don't know why this is the F power. That's still the thing that's messing with me. I kind of figured one corner was going to be the key, one was this, one was that. I was still thinking that it was going to be all of them were underground things, though. Welp, so much for that underground segment. Literally turned on a lamp and got knocked back up the stairs. Well, we didn't have a lot of time left in that stage anyway, so I guess it's fine. Oh great, we have just a dark stage now. I see why they were giving so many lanterns. Maybe they did me a favor by keeping me from being underground longer then. So I would have been going in here without any lamps. Oh, we got enemies that drop bombs now. Hiding in the darkness. Little bomb lizards. My spirit animal. Now, what would have been funny is if this underground segment wasn't dark. Like, it was just a complete reversal. Ooh, this is full of lanterns, though. Okay, we gained a fair few lanterns from that. Even if I did burn part of the time on one of mine. Okay, there's the exit route. That was a pretty easy stage. Would have probably been a lot harder if we didn't have a lantern. Oh, boss time? Boss time. Actual snake. That is making walls, which is concerning. I feel like there's just gonna become a point where I just lose by default here. Wait, really? Oh, there's multiple snakes. Okay, and they have multiple patterns. Interesting. You can just bully him by tanking his charge, though. And keep him from, like, doing his thing. There we go, blow that one up. Obviously, you can't do that all the time for all of them, but that is a move. Wait, though, what do you do if it outruns you like this one just did? The answer, I think, is lose. Well, that's a shame. This is interesting, though. This is a very interesting boss. Let's see what this intro is again, now that I can actually pay attention to it. So, some kind of reactor blew up, made a big hole in the ground, and we, I guess, are just jumping down into the big hole in the ground. Okay. Never mind, that didn't help much at all for information. Okay, so we don't keep our suit. I guess it keeps your condition based on what your condition was when you got the game over, not when you got to the furthest point then. Okay, good night, Dream. Sleep well. Okay, that's 2. Get back here, coward. He's so gonna be coming back down after me. Yeah, the bombing strategy is very effective here, at least. Yep, that did work, actually. Sort of. What a fucking path he's taking, though. Yep, and I'm dead. God damn it. That was hard to track because he's just like all over the fucking place. Like, if you could just stay alongside him, you could just shred him like that. That's why the other ones have such wacky patterns. There we go. Yeah, that one was faster, so that doesn't quite work the same. Ah, I've misaligned so much there. No, going back doesn't help, you stupid bastard. What are you doing? These bosses are definitely getting a lot harder, but I feel like that's somewhat in unreasonable ways. Like, this guy just is a lot to deal with. Like, it being so many different snakeheads is a lot. The first couple you shouldn't really take any damage to. I keep being greedy trying to go faster because of how many times we've repeated them that I take damage. For example, with that one. Or I just forget which way they're going, which is exactly what happened with this one. God, why did I let him bump into me so many times? I keep forgetting how quickly they turn. Like, he had no choice but to turn on a dime there, I know, but just brain didn't kick in. Forgetting once again that that one goes all the way to the bottom. Like, it doesn't help that I'm, like, super powered down now, too. I have, like, no range. How did that count as him hitting me? He was gonna turn before he made contact. Come on. His head is slightly longer than it actually is visually, so it fucks with you a bit. And you're not fast enough to outrun this one, so you just get shafted here. Right, he turns around there. It's not just going all the way around. Usually it dies before it gets to that point, so I forgot. And now I fucked that up completely. Oh, you go that way. Okay. Which means the end point of where it's going is gonna be over there. Really? How much health do you have? Come on. Yeah, the previous one has to die completely before the next one spawns in, which is helpful to a point. Yep, and we're fucking dead again. I need to have health when I get to this one. I think that's my only play here at this point, is having health when we get to the last one. Or at least the one I hope is the last one, because, like, it's getting kind of silly. Come the fuck on, game. Stop screwing me like that. Okay, good, that was the last hit. I got real nervous. Okay, I think I got multiple bombings in there. There we go, that was the plan, was tank one hit and just bomb the shit out of it as a result. Oh, there's still another one? Oh, right, because we saw the start of this one and couldn't figure out what to do. Stay away from it. What is this path it's taking? How are you meant to avoid that at all? Problem is, we can't, like, go back and get power-ups either. We have to just accept the fact that we've got what we've got. Because the only other alternative would be going back through the whole game. And I wouldn't even really be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have, like, this, and this if I went and did other things. Like, no. There really isn't other stuff to use. So this is just kind of rough. Let me see how many stages there are. Yeah, most of the videos I'm seeing are like an hour and a half. It's apparently 9 worlds, and we're on world 4 right now? So, mixed results there. Nobody has written a guide for it, so I can't get information there. Does this help? Not really. Aha, I was right though that apparently this was meant to be a Bomberman game originally. Or it said Bomber King, but I'm going to assume that that's the same thing. Let's give this a couple more tries, and if we don't get anywhere, we'll wrap for the day early. So we have a nice time split for Thursday. I think that's a good idea. And this way I don't overdo it either. Nope, went the wrong way again. Come on. Okay, good, it worked. I fucked it up a bit, but we made it work. I did myself in there. Way to go, brain. You clearly thought that through so well. That bomb symbol being there makes me wonder if there's like a selection system where I can like use something else. Right, I forgot it was this snake. Oh, you go down that way? Huh. We've never let this one live long enough for it to get to this point. Oh! That's how this works. Okay, so I have, like, multi-directional bombs as well. Okay. I've got bombs that go in a straight line. Okay. That's why we were picking up copies of them. Blew myself up with that one because I'm learning how these work. This one just blows up in a bigger radius, seems, is its whole thing. I keep forgetting that this one goes back in on itself repeatedly like that. I am so stupid right now, but it's fine. That worked beautifully, though. Out of those now, though. His head's gotta end up back up here somewhere. Got him. Yes, that was the last one. All right, bombs saved the day. I'm glad I just had the thought to check select button. Okay, we're into this area 5. We have 4 more areas to go after this. Oh, this whole side is blowable, blastable, destroyable, whatever word you want to use for it, really. Brain was originally going to say blow upable, and I'm like, that doesn't sound good. That's technically words, but no. So I went with blowable instead, because, you know, clearly that's better. That's so much better. That now makes sense why we were picking up so many things that weren't actually, like, a power-up, actually. It was just ammo, essentially. So that much at least makes sense now. We have 2 lanterns. We'll wait. The resource management about the dark areas is interesting. Ooh, an extra life. Our first time finding an extra life 5 areas in. Hooray. I do really like the really big bombs, though. I'm interested to use more of those. These will actually be useful for clearing areas faster, though. He lured them all right into a bomb. They thought they could sneak up on me. Fools. Fools that they are. Still don't know what the shoes do. Like, we figured out a lot of things now, but the shoes still are beyond me. And since there's not really guides available, I don't know if I'll be able to find out what they do. But ads are about to run, so I think I will go look up that information at the very least. Let me see if I can find the manual. Ah, excellent. Somebody did get a scan of the manual. Let's see what these things do then. With these boots, Jason can walk up to 4 times faster. So P is shot speed, and we could have gotten 3 copies of the F all at once. So it is more or less exactly what I was thinking. I was right in thinking that our shots were traveling shorter distances after we died, because we lost like our entire bottom row of power-ups. Okay. So that at least makes sense now. Okay. So I couldn't find anything else particularly useful while I did a quick skim. We have so many of the directional bombs, I've realized, as well. Okay, considering that these stages have not been the most exciting, I'm gonna go ahead and just press onward a little bit. Finish up this stage, probably, while the ad runs. Or at the very least, like, clean up a little bit more and see if we find anything of use in these blocks. I won't go on to, like, a new stage or anything. Yeah, we got an underground. We do have 4 lanterns. Let's have a look down here. So far, a lot of nothing. Well, not nothing. Lots of enemies. Now there's an F. That's nice. Assuming I can get out of here alive with it. And the manual does verify that we are Jason. Jason, not that one. Get me out of here. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. All you missed is I walked around a little bit. We went into an underground section and got a power-up. As you can see by the fact that we look different now. That's basically all that happened. I realized that the stages really weren't remarkable enough to be worth worrying about making sure you didn't miss any movement at all in. Especially since a lot of them are just blow up like 50 blocks until we find what we're looking for. So, I just went ahead and blew up the rest of that stage, pretty much. Oh, that's bad. We got a dark stage right after I had just used up my last lantern. It's a dark stage with water in it, too. Oh, that's bad. That's, like, horrendously bad. I found an underground segment, apparently. Problem is, I A, can't see the power-ups, and B, can't see where I'm going to tell if I'm moving. Nope, that's a dead end. Just kind of going out in circles, looking for any items that are down here. Not sure, but I'm like circling around items repeatedly here. Oh, I found the way back out, which doesn't help. Okay, good. As you're falling into the abyss, you can activate a thing, at least. Oh yeah, I could be shooting to see where the edges are, too. I pressed start. Come on. Yeah, we are just stuck in this position, too. Oh, that's awful. That is just disgusting. And we've lost all of our speed boosts. We've lost all of our shot increases. I don't know what... You know, that's one thing I didn't notice in the manual is what the second thing did. I didn't even look at that. Okay, power boot is for spikes. Okay. That is inconvenient. Because we haven't even seen spikes yet in the game. But what that tells me is that there's going to be spikes. And those are probably going to be just they hurt you when you walk on them type deals. Okay. So that is useful information. But unfortunately nothing that solves the I have no lanterns and I must scream problem. Found an underground segment again. But on the bright side, I now know where the bounds of the ground here are. So I can very methodically search for items. I know, not exciting, but this is what I'm gonna have to do to get through this. Because of the fact that I didn't know there was a dark stage coming up and ran out of lanterns. And they didn't put any lanterns early on in this stage, apparently, either. Which is what I was warning about before, where I was like, I'm betting there's gonna come a point where I'm gonna need items and not have them. So I guess it's better to not have lanterns than it is to not have, like, life preservers. Since the dark at least doesn't kill you. it may kill your interest in continuing to play the game, but it doesn't kill you. What am I even picking up? Okay, I picked up a P, and one of them must have been a bomb. Like, it'd be one thing if the... Okay, we have a lantern. I'm obviously not going to use it down here. So I need to be able to see where I'm going in the stage a lot more. See, the lanterns also really do not last, like, long at all. Which is why it almost doesn't matter that our lantern supplies run dry. Okay, we got another lantern, though. Let's go. God, can't move. I'm so fucking dead. I love how I was able to see that time and I died worse than when I couldn't see. No, not a lantern either, huh? Not a lantern? I feel like I definitely missed items in here before because of the fact that I feel like I picked up more things this time. But this might be a different underground section as well. At least this is just a nice big open underground section, though, unlike a couple of the ones we've had before. I say as I was very stuck there for a moment. So, you know, maybe it's not as big and open as I thought it was. Still not a lantern. So many items, none of them were lanterns. So if anybody comes in late and wonders why I'm walking around in a dark void of nothingness, it's because I'm out of fucking lights. And I can't seem to get any more. Or with any consistency. Okay, I'm up against the wall. But apparently... Oh, there's a shield. Found that. Where the fuck's the exit? I might have blindly navigated a maze, and now I'm stuck. Because ordinarily the stairs would be like right along this left-hand wall here, but it isn't. So I have an interesting conundrum now, I think. Thankfully, I think I'm finding my way out. Yep, there we go. It was just like a narrow hallway that it spiraled out from. It's a good thing I can at least tell when I start drowning that I'm in water. Oh, wait, this way. This way is somewhere. And it's ground, too. I think I'm going in circles right now. Where the fuck am I? Oop. I need either... That might have been the key, though. It was. I found the key in the dark. Unbelievable. Fucking blind man bluffs my way out of that damn stage. You love to see it. Except when you can't. So that was part of the problem, is those guys seem to just replicate when you shoot them instead of dying, so you need to bomb them. But I didn't understand what was happening because I couldn't see. Or at the very least, I couldn't see for long enough to, like, test things. But we might be back to smooth sailing again for a bit. Okay, maybe they just take multiple hits because they just flashed and spawned a dude at that time anyway. There's the key. Okay. Not too bad to find. Very good, very good. Hee hee. Anyway, we're out of there. I'm assuming this is gonna be boss of stage 5? Or is there gonna be 5 parts? Nope. Okay. Oh, I see. You extend those out further and further. You extend all the way out here, or are you turning around now? Seems like he doesn't extend past this point. Not really sure what to do here. He doesn't seem to ever stop the spin. Is this just like a damage rush situation? Like I beat him up before he extends out far enough? That could be a move, but the controls in this game aren't fast enough for that idea, though. For, like, trying to, like, do directional bombs pointed right at him. I could definitely do that for the early part, though. Before they extend out far enough to be a danger to me immediately. And now I'm starting to get bounced around so I don't have control of my life at all. Like, I don't have diagonal shooting. I don't have I don't think these reach far enough either. No. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a boss that the recommendation is just have lots of power-ups for this type situation. I don't know how you're meant to... Stupid idea. Do these count as spikes? No, they do not. I was trying to just damage rush him. I don't know what to do with this. This fight kind of sucks. Is it expecting you to just be fast? Like, A, kill him fast, B, just have lots of speed boosts? Or is it meant to be a situation like what I'm doing right now, where you're just kind of, like, trailing along? Because this is kind of working. I just don't know how much damage I'm doing. I also don't know why I got stuck there. He didn't go forward even though you watched his feet move. It's weird. This fight kind of sucks. Because you get bounced back so hard when you get hit that you're just gonna get bombed by your own attack. And for those that are like, well, just shoot him then. You can't turn and shoot very effectively and stay ahead of his little damage wave here. This fight's kind of bullshit that way. Like, there just doesn't seem to be any, like, winning strategy here necessarily. His waves are also moving inconsistently. Like, he's slowed down a lot suddenly, and now he's gonna speed up again. What the fuck am I meant to do here? Does he speed up and slow down on his own, or was that the game slowing down? No, he speeds up and slows down. Notice how the spinning's slowing down now? Huh. Problem is, I don't know what to do with that information at all. Worst part is we're like halfway through the game. It'd be easy enough to finish it if we just could get through these goddamn fights. So many of these boss fights are just becoming fucking stupid. Because I can't maintain like a consistent square walk around him, because not only is his attack pattern inconsistent, but my own movement abilities are a little weird at times. Like, this guy wouldn't be so bad if the bosses in this game weren't just giant sacks of hit points. Like, what am I meant to do when I can bomb something 15 times and it survives? I don't know what to do with that. Yeah, considering we're down to 4 hours left on the timer, and this game's kind of kicking my ass now, I think we'll actually take an early wrap today. And there's also a specific reason for that anyway. They're doing They're doing a thing right now, though it looks like one of them forgot to do a thing, but that's okay. I also need to update the goals, I've realized. They're both still on the About page and didn't get updated. That's fine. But yeah, it's the Melon's birthday, and they're playing Peak, so we'll go ahead and pop over there. Because, like I said, I'm just getting kind of walled right now, and I don't feel like just bashing my head against this right now, since the energy has kind of dropped a bit. We'll go ahead and take an early split here, so we have a good amount of time before Thursday, in case we don't end up getting any action on Thursday. I think that's fair. I've got a marker for the timer and everything, so don't you worry about that. So yeah, we'll go raid Melon, wish her a happy birthday, because that's what her whole thing is today, for those wondering. It is Melatonin's birthday, so be sure to wish her a happy birthday when we get there. Apologies that this one ended up a bit shorter than intended. I know it was supposed to be a marathon, but we gotta make sure to take care of ourselves too, so. We'll go ahead and split the difference here today, and we'll pick it up on Thursday. We shall see if we end up having that much more time added to the timer at all, or anything either. But either way, thank you all so much for watching. Wish Mel a happy birthday, and I will see you on Thursday. Good night, everybody.